Hey, Prentice here, and today we're going to work on balance exercise and a little lower body stability exercise. So why is this important? Number one, I understand already that many of you who see this, your goal is strength. Maybe you're doing some exercise for weight loss, and that's all good. And what I want you to get is that you are going to only be as strong as you are stable. And you don't want to load your body up, for example, taking a lot of weights or doing a lot of fitness exercise and putting that on top of faulty movement patterns. Now, this isn't like a corrective exercise video, but just know that if you put that kind of strength and you put speed on a faulty movement pattern, think about your car. You go out and you continue to drive it. You don't get your wheels aligned. You don't check the tire treads, brake pads, that sort of thing. If you're into cars, if you're a car person, after a while, that car is going to break down. So, even though the body's a little more complex, but it's a similar thing. So we want to work on that stability and then put strength on top of that. And balance is important as well. Now, some people say that, oh man, I have terrible balance. Well, that's something that you can work on. You can make yourself stronger. You can improve your balance, provided that you don't have anything going on in your ear. As long as everything's intact, but your balance is something that can improve. So, first thing we want to do is understand that your body is connected. So, going to backtrack a little bit and start with a couple of core exercises. First thing we want to do is just get a sense of what your core is doing for your body. So imagine your core is a can. We have the top part, your diaphragm. This is why breathing exercises are important, and I'll show you that in a future video. But we inhale, and the diaphragm tightens up. It contracts and pulls your lungs down, fills those lungs up with air. Now, as we create that brace, we hold that contraction in your diaphragm so that we can produce force safely. And that's going to be very important. If your goal is strength training and you're carrying loads, you want to be able to use that diaphragm, keep the top part of your core locked down to help you provide a little bit of stability against your spine. And what you want to do is learn how to breathe while holding that contraction. You'll have to use some different breathing techniques to make that possible. Next, we have the cylinder of the can, and however you call it, you're either going to brace your abs, cough, and you can feel that brace, or you can draw your abs in. The bottom part of the core, you're going to tighten your pelvic floor muscles. Okay, just imagine trying not to use the toilet, and practice engaging these muscles. Practice bringing these muscles online. Now, you're not going to walk around like that all day, but our goal with very many of our exercises is to get to that place of unconscious competence. You don't have to think about it, because how exhausting would that be to walk around saying, oh my gosh, now I have to tighten this, tighten that, and it's exhausting. You can't do it. So we want to practice this to get to that state of unconscious competence. Okay, so now once you have your core online, we're going to start with a very simple bridge. Now, I'm going to lay down here and just imagine that my pelvis is a basin. Dump water out the back. I'm going to actually arch my back or point my belly button to the ceiling and imagine if we're standing up anatomically that water is spilling out of the front. We're going to find that neutral position somewhere in between there where we're not completely flat, not completely arched. And then we're going to create that brace that we just talked about. Okay, so from here, just going to come up into a simple bridge. Now, my knees are relatively at 90 degrees. Toes are pointing straight ahead. I'm not pushing down, trying to compensate. So you'll just start with something like this as a warm-up. Hold the top end of the bridge for a couple seconds. Lower slowly. And as you lower, you may feel your hips wanting to shift. And you want to keep these as centered. Keep your pelvis as centered as possible. Don't allow any rotation. Come up and down. Okay, progression of this is to just shift the weight over to one leg. You can hold your free leg here. You can do some active stretching. Okay, so why do we want to do that? These muscles here in your hip, they control a little bit of that. They control the stability. They control the stability. They keep you from shifting laterally and losing your balance. So now that we've done that, what we're going to do is work on the foot. So what you're going to do is, as you're standing on the foot, you're going to really spread the toes out and try to push the tips of your toes into the floor. We're not curling or gripping like that, just pushing the toes into the floor. Now, what I like to do, start with the knee bent. Get into a little split stance here. Keep your core engaged. Get into a split stance and hold. For this stage, just be aware. I don't want any medial or lateral shift. If I find that this is too challenging, I'm going to move my foot to create a little more stability, move my free leg to create a little more stability. All I want you to do is hold. As you get more advanced, you can start to move your foot into an inline stance, or you can start to balance. Now, what you can't see here, actually, let me move back here. Now, when I balance, my hands are just on the hips. I'm keeping that core engaged, focusing on a spot a few feet in front of me, and just paying attention to that shift. Now, as you get more advanced, as if you've been at this for a while, then you can start to move your free leg around. Okay? Even more advanced, you're going to start to turn your torso. Reach to either side. You can open up here like I'm doing, all the while pressing down into the floor with that foot and keeping your knee centered. You want to keep that knee centered right now over the center of the foot. Okay, so those are your balance exercises, and the good thing about this is that you can apply this in several different ways. If you're new to this, make this the main part of your training. Practice on getting your flexibility, practice on some core exercises, get some stability drills under you, and make these exercises the main part of your training. Just body weight stuff. And as you advance and you're able to handle a little more workload, then these exercises like this can shift to just being a part of the warm-up. Just do a couple of reps to shake your human Etch-a-Sketch, just to get you prepared for the work that you're going to do today. Practice this and let me know how you're doing with it. In the bottom, always, if you have questions, ask me. If you haven't subscribed to the page, go ahead and do so. I enjoy your comments. Let me know what you want to see next, and I will talk soon. Take care. Train smart.